Welcome back to the channel, guys. I finally get to talk to you guys about that. I'm so excited. We finally got Tekken Bloodline released on Netflix. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Help your boy out to 500 subscribers. And if you like the video, show me some love and hit the like button. If you don't like the video, you know exactly what to do because you've been doing it anyways all over YouTube. But anyways, what we have here is Tekken Bloodline. And I have a lot of pros, but I have a little bit of cons and maybe some things that Tekken fans need to look out for before they get into this. But let's talk about the pros and the great things first. One of the great things off top that I can think of is the animation. The way everything looks, the 3D to 2D animation is fantastic in here. The fight scenes are fantastic. If you are a Tekken fan, you can recognize the combinations that they use in here. They literally took combos from the game, lifted it up, and put it right into this show. And you can even predict the end of the combos because they're so spot on how they do the combinations in here. Speaking of the fight scenes, one of the things I love when I saw the trailer and still love as I'm watching the show is that they actually put the hit sparks in here, the block sparks, the special effects from people when they're using moves like Hihachi Mishima and Jin Kazama with the lightning, Ogre with his special. Like they put all of that in here, and this has got to be, in my personal opinion, the most faithful adaptation to a video game transferred into a show that I have seen in a long time. And I like the era that this is based off. This is based off of from a little bit like before Tekken 3, but more so in Tekken 3, 4, and a little bit towards 5. So I like that era. I played Tekken since Tekken 1. And I think Tekken 3 is when it really got popular because a lot of people were huge fans of Jin Kazama for one of the reasons. My favorite person in Tekken 3 was Hwoarang. And my second would be Ling Xiao Yu, then Jin Kazama, then Yoshimitsu, then King. That was the order of my characters when Tekken 3 came out. And speaking of Hwoarang, he's in this, but a lot of people will be like, why isn't he wearing the biker suit? I love the fact that he's in the gi because it reminds me of him when he was in Tekken 3. He was my favorite character. Tekken Tag Tournament, I will use him and I will use Bake. Put them on the same team. They're basically the same person. You know, get him with that Taekwondo. I took Taekwondo as a kid, so that's the reason why I always loved that character. Now, speaking of characters that you love, I'm gonna have to get into the cons here, right? If you're a Tekken fan, you're gonna love this. But as far as the cons here, is that the show is pretty short. It's really short. It feels like it goes by just like that. You can probably watch it in less than 2 hours and be done with the entire show, maybe even quicker than that. And with it being that fast, some of the fight scenes may feel a little rushed. Some of the story may feel a little rushed and miss some beats to kind of like give it that more like an emotional drama feeling. It's there, but I feel like they could have expounded on that a little bit more and made the story a little bit more meaningful. So it just feels like the show just goes by like that and the fights go so quick. And speaking of the fights and characters that people love, if you're a huge Tekken fan, your favorite character may not be in the show, or if they are in the show, you probably won't see him. And if you do see him, they won't be on the screen long. Like I said, one of my favorite characters is Yoshimitsu. He's in the show, but you never see him fight. You just hear about the fights these characters have been in during the tournament, which makes the tournament feel a little lightweight. And because it goes by so fast, it feels like it's just like, I don't know. It just feels really weird. You hear about Kuma getting into a fight, but you don't. The only reason why you know about it is because you hear about that. On top of that, one of the things I do love is the characters in there. Nina Williams, I love her in there. I love the Paul Phoenix in there, which he's a little bit slim in there compared to all the other characters. The other characters look like they came from Baki, like they're super cock diesel and strong, which really isn't a big deal. But it was weird because that was like like it felt like a little mismatch in there. But overall, if you're a huge Tekken fan, you're gonna like this show. Maybe you'll even love it. But if you approach this as like a huge like anime fan, I guess, you will feel like it's very lackluster with the speed going by so fast, with the episodes being so short, which you feel like you're being cut off as far as the story going forward. That's the only part of it. For me, I liked it. I loved it. It was enough time for me to wake up in the morning, watch it, and then go to work. So it was no problem for me. It was very convenient to me. And I'm not sure if this is just going to be the end of season 1. I know it says season 1 on Netflix. I don't know if they're supposed to come in with another set of episodes to add to season 1, or if they're going to go forward with the season 2. And I hope if they come out with a season 2, I hope they have the episodes a little bit longer. The next tournament will have a lot more characters, right? Again, I don't expect them to have all the characters in the first season. I don't care how long the episodes were, because a lot of shows that have come out based upon fighting games, they didn't have every character in there. You can even talk about the Mortal Kombat movie that just came out. There's a lot of classic characters and Mortal Kombat fan favorites that did not make the movie, and some people were disappointed about that. But when you're talking about a movie, you really can't do all that, and you need to have one character that you have the focus on. And with that being said, if they don't mesh well with the story, it almost doesn't make sense for them to really be there. And they have some characters here that you feel like they're kind of pushed to the side, but I mean, that's just what happens when you translate a game into a movie. There's some characters that are going to play bigger roles. There are other characters that aren't going to play as big a role into the story as other. If they're not really connected to Jin like that, they're not going to play that much of a big role. But anyways, if you guys have seen this show, what do you guys think? If you guys haven't seen it, what are you guys anticipating? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. Salute. Peace. Have a good day.